able to do that in fairly quick fashion.
Well, aggression from GX. We saw this as a downside on the previous map, something Pacific were ready for, but this time Valorant lurking out on that veto, gets caught off guard. West side delivering headshots! And now a 4 versus 2 thanks to his efforts. The flank coming through, connects every shot, and 4v1, the IGL of Pacific. A kill under his belt already, but 20 HP left. He is done for, and Flickless makes sure of it.
Yeah, solid pistol.
They're anchoring side, guys. Do you have Raise Nade? Raise Nade backside, like secret. We just need to raise in secret. I'm coming. I only have smoke for flower.
Main. He's top side. 1, 2.
Nading.
Close main.
Hold the main player.
Low HP Astra. Astra.
Go.
I see side.
Oh, now full site control landing into their hands as we saw and heard, but now GX have got players at the gates ready to rally back through on the retake, and the spike still hasn't gone down. Utility making a bit of an issue, and a wide swing from Cloud. He's got one from miles away. West side chimes in. Grubby's there too, and Cupert, the last man standing. He tries to find the final player, but the final player finds him. He knew about.
Pacific now need to. Well, I say need to get a move on. They need to make a decision. They're now coming back out towards the B side, which is a decent read. Even still, though, Aris managed to get in behind them. The man advantage claimed by GX, but a post plant on that B side looking pretty likely.
Yeah, we saw him posturing for that fight. And Ara catches him off guard, finds another. The push up from 7, spotted as well, but the punish is still there. A 3 versus 2, Pacific having again to climb up. The squad that was bottom of the table last stage now falling behind in this series already. One series behind them that didn't go all too well, and the end of stage 1 could be just around the corner for them. Cupert manages to land one, CNET on another, and there he is! We saw nice little bit of info for Ara. Maybe clicked that earlier than he wanted to. But he finds them all here, and so the rotate already underway. Decent buy for Pacific, of course, yet again, with a rocket launcher. It only finds one, and it's a trade. Ara's been doing so well. Another opening duel under his belt. Being on fire, but hold on! He might have opened the round, but the door shut in their face on the way through that cosmic divide. Cloud all alone, 3 to take down, and chances looking slim to none. A high-low, lower setup in play. And again, presence towards B, but CNET waiting outside of A is going to be at least destroying the Prowler, keeping boots on the ground on that side of the map as West side falls, but a push through mid. You know, he goes out for it eventually, scares me a little bit. You don't really want to give them opportunities to pick up those better weapons, to take fights back into their hands and see.
That could be a little bit more of a problem. Here goes the potential of that seize. There goes the salvos. Cupid's not going to survive, but 7 is waiting. The second player close enough that it isn't too dangerous. Spams would need to kill him, and it doesn't. Now it shouldn't be too dangerous.
Oh, well, already getting an ult out of Ninja in this round. It's
not too bad.
At least chipping away at the ult economy. See if that, pardon me, damage can be done. I like the Pacific just took that safe space towards Art. Goal! Let's see how safe it is. 2 left, both towards this angle, but time is going to be a big factor. 7 pushes forward. The Cosmic Divide shrouding his steps as he gets up close, but a player behind. It's Grubby, who's ended up taking the kills. CNET shot in the back, and the round falls. Pressure him.
Well, I think as well, Alarante's just used Evolution, so he's going to be able to avoid a lot of this utility. That's a surprise factor that I still feel like some might not necessarily be used to be dead. He's not immune to a bullet to the face. Nightfall hits onto 7, so he's down to just 1 health, and that time is ticking with their players slowly being diminished. They haven't even destroyed any of the trips. It's going to make things even harder to get through this utility unscathed. Well, nice shots from Ninja. He's given them an opportunity again. The salvo still alive. The jump across is risky. But that was the danger, and now the spike on the deck. Round over, unless they overface, which they shouldn't.
No, it would be a crazy round to throw.
It would be a crime.
Genuinely, yeah, they would be investigated. But for
because you know that they're probably the team most likely to fix those mistakes. So, yeah, it's a really bad time to face them. So it'd be nice to go in with a win.
It would. Things looking unlikely here. What should be a strength for Pacific, and more importantly, a weakness for GX. This played out in an unexpected manner.
I'm out of here.
Okay, so CNED with the Bucky. There we go. I was about to say, CNED with the Bucky made a little bit of sense. Cooper with the Bucky makes absolutely no sense. So
just pop a load of smokes and run through them.
He has this. I am sure with his Team Liquid Academy days, he was very used to just playing awful weapons and giving the guns to young, crazy, talented players.
30 seconds left.
You're in the tier 1 now, bud. You could take the gun sometimes.
No wall to break through, but nobody watching that cross. If it's a blitz towards elbow, there's danger for Grubby, but he will be slowed for now. Great timing from Ara, going out for the fight, finding one, and now the dash out. Made it up into heaven. Wonderful work from Ara. And again, success for GX in dominant fashion with an in-zone flawless on the board.
Yeah, Pacific have been trying these fakes a lot, but they're up against a double initiator, and so that hasn't really worked. Like, against double controller, maybe you could try and pull that off. This time, though, they have managed to catch Westside. And they did powerful over on that waylay. But with how widespread some of these players are and the fact they've caught Gruby, see whether or not they invest it here.
Going for this at this point, near impossible. An uphill battle, although they'll catch Cooper. It's still double the numbers on the other side. An op in hand, just not worth the risk. And they won't throw those credits away. Instead, a save call and Pacific find their...
Either way, they're getting close to a lot of ults.
Important to know that they've spotted 2 players here, but neither of them are Westside. That could almost sell as a ruse, but now cages go up. They know, and already traps are going to be destroyed. Utility sent through for that, and over the top. Oh, it's a risky play up against Westside, and 7 pays for it with their life. A 4v5, but the post plant at least secured for Pacific. A safe ground, or so they think. They move towards actually fighting the site. Ult goes in from Ara, perfectly timed. He's wrapped around. Shot lands, leaves him low, and Grubby cleans up the kill. Numbers keep on ticking in favor of GX as the defuse gets its way to half and 3.
Enough. The operator might just be a different story. And while they've definitely got a decent idea, they're even going to use a salvo to force them out of the corner and give Ara the fight.
Make the next run even more telegraphed. 1 player down. No response to take a fight towards this laneway. In through the double doors, but Cloud in the corner. CNED expected him, but can't
30 seconds left.
deliver the kill. And now, yeah, sure, they'll probably walk into A for free. The position of Westside, super passive. But he still has his cam, still has his trips, and all he'll do is hold the space. They're in a, well, I say that, he is still inching forward, and it's making me a bit nervous. If it was anyone but Westside, it'd make me terrified. But now the cavalry is here.
10 seconds left.
And they're watching and waiting for Ninja to walk through. He's going to go right into the scope of Ara, and it's nothing but success again for GX. The Giants are stirring and quite as fast, and that's going to make a big difference to that showstopper doing what it needed to here. At least it claims them space. A bit of crowd control, but they end up walking right into the op of Ara. Another opening duel to tally on up 5-0 in this half. And again, it just goes to show this guy has got such a high ceiling, and this time he's operating on it. But Ninja's pulled this back. Now a doable round till Ara sings in, and Cupert left alone. The shot lands to start. The man of the hour. He's faked it to start, and Cupert's not falling for it. He was waiting for the second tap. Swings in and misses the shot, but buying time is all he needs to do. Ara gets ahead of the problem. And play
might not be at the forefront of what he's planning to do. I have a feeling he's just going to try and shooty his way out of this one.
More than 2.
Okay.
So I would say
there's no fall off.
That it might, well, yeah, maybe there's a minimum amount of ghosts, of frenzies, of classics, who knows? Shields and utility, perhaps.
Where did you see this stat?
It was told to me by some friends. So I said I saw it, I heard it actually. I've been informed.
Were they a reliable friend?
Yes, they work on teams. I trust them. I'll name them if I find out it's wrong. But for now, 9-3. If it's right, it's my idea. 9-3 for GX.
30 seconds.
And a chance to really hammer home this victory. They're going aggressive with the Sheriffs. And it's going to be 2 wallbang headshots, missed shots on the other side. The spams and the smoke for CNED not lucky today. And even though 2 players are clinging on for dear life, GX still have a 2-man advantage.
Well, they've lost.
One enemy remaining.
One of their share.
Oh, you can stop there. They've lost. They've lost. Sadly.
That was a better score. They're being forced all the way back. Gravwell, salvos, a lot of utility being used by GX, and now they're going to run down into what is a stack-up of players. Well, only one's managed to find the kill. Seven's been quiet. The two aces of the last map not really having the same impact. And a nice shot from Flickless, but that might be all she wrote. Spike down in a horrible position. They are pushing into West side, though, and you have to be careful doing that. And Ara, I think he's going to be figured out now. It's been too long where he hasn't reacted off anything his teammates done. So they are expecting
30
a
seconds
flash.
left.
If he gets one, that ult could be so dangerous, but he needs the first. And it's Cooper
He can get the spike.
stepping back into Art. Now the spike is theirs. He doesn't know it, though. He doesn't know they've given it up and wrapped all the way around. He's trying to bait them on the jump out.
He's going to run out
Buying
of time.
but the thing is, 12 seconds left. He's got to go. Dashes up and over. Sees nobody here. 10 seconds left. I don't think he's got time to make it back. No, he doesn't. He's miles away. He'd have to win both duels, and they will not offer those up today. A rifle carried forward, but a round lost. Pacific, well, the start of the win streak has to be here and now.
Push him here. There's Pitson and Waylander. They're always good at sort of learning from their mistakes, adapting, getting better as the season goes on. Valorant in a good position. Again, it has not been a week to remember for him. Can he have that standout moment? It's going to be one, but he's definitely facilitated CNET to make that three. The third one, well, a little bit of luck that goes a long way. And this round's going to be far more important. The credits waning on the GX side. Another chance
To make this a bit more costly if he can. Bleed out those credits from Pacific. And he won't even get close. CNET on a
distant amount of pressure put onto Art because they're very happy to give up the other side of the map. Stun through. It's a little bit shaky, but Ara, yeah, he's going to have to just fall back. The rest of his team hoping to make their way through the smoke, and Ara has come up with a big double. However, the last two players sat with pistols. Now a rifle found. Well, the information might just get them into the post plant.
Here.
If they can find the spike, it is hidden. Very difficult to spot. No, of course, they're just waiting.
Yeah, the suspicion you saw the ping go through from West side, expecting that there will be a player a little bit deeper. And he's got the right read. Three coming in just as he moves. Cupert steps into the angle, rips his head off, and leaves Grubby all alone. The timing, oh, it was almost perfect, but they've rounded the corner just...
A little bit more if they're going to take it in regulation, but I'm yet to have that level of belief. A buy round now back in, and while Westside versus Valorant has been a very one-sided story, now completely open for business, it really comes down to, can they kill Ara cleanly? And they can. That at least gives them a way back into this round, because a 5v4 retake on B, I don't believe at all.
CNET sitting back in spawn with the up, hoping for an overextension, but there is none. Instead, looking to meet them head on the flank, finding a double. In goes a nightfall, though. This is going to catch the majority. Does it reach all the way to the back? No, it doesn't. It leaves a bit of a gap, and in fact, that gap is the only place that they've got anyone standing. Flickless, the final one to fall. And Prowler's being sent in, saw nothing. And now the four players that are occupying that space on the defensive side, they have to decide where they go. Unfortunately, they go towards A. The rotation now slower, and CNET left on his own. Gets one, and even decides to stick around in a risky enough position, but that might get them the info when the smoke falls. We've seen GX flee towards mid, where now there is a fight brewing with Ninja. It's a bit of a risk being in this spot, especially when there's a trip right beside him to hold down that push, but it has worked out. The double, an advantage is built on from here.
What was he saying? The off-angle king? That's what he was calling himself earlier.
Last player standing.
And clearly it worked. It's playing
B.
a slight, as you said, about the same in terms of where we put the teams at that top end. Many will have them on their way to London at the end of these next couple of months. And a pacey take being attempted. It's going to be the early trade, not too bad. 7 though, showstopper over the top, but Cloud's doing well. That Sheriff doing damage means he has his ultimate online, but did they expect Cupid? A snake in the grass, sneaking his way through, clears one, clears two, leaves just one man standing, and in fact, he'll take the look.
One walking through, the others with a patient face, and now they'll group up. I like this. This could completely catch them off guard, holding mid, but West Side not one to miss those kinds of shots. Oh, man.
I know
the right
exactly
idea from Pacific, but GX, they were ready, and the fact that it wasn't just Westside, the Grabinho is there as well, is very unlucky for the defensive side, but those shots landed, there's no look about it. That's pure skill. Hold on, he's wrapping up behind Valorant. He's being launched, and the shots don't land. Cooper, great round last round.
Bring them down.
Pacific at the info early, and they're in the right position to avoid that ultimate coming through. The C's not so much. Ara's already going to get side control for free in the spam. It takes down 7. A wild spray through the smoke. I don't think he could see him from there. The X is further back than where the body actually was. He was still on the steps. Oh, that's devastating. A player down already. CNED on his way with an off. He spotted one close, but the stun doesn't catch, and there's a second man behind him. They are ready for this swing, waiting for it, and Ara doesn't need any help. But Valorant with a triple. They're still in this. They're still alive. Pacific have fought their way back. Maybe not for the top of the group, but to make it through, and all those players coming back in. Our timing is perfect. It looked like it was perfect, but 7 and Ninja dealt with by Flickless. Another huge round by him. CNED knows, and he'll catch one. He'll get out, but he is surrounded and has to fight his way out, brawl his way back to his buddies. And he spotted them. He's seen a player up close. That's the only man he needs to deal with. Valorante's on his way, but CNED will be there waiting.
One coming through. Cloud stunned up, but no one able to react off it. A very low HP CNED, but with an operator that might not be too bad. The players have been heard making their way to the site, and that's CNED gone back into a 2 versus 2. No salvos to be had, not a lot of post-spawn this fight. It's everything, and Cooper wins it again. The position not good. Westside had to run.
Pips and Cam.
And this continues.
Of this series, if GX are to take it. Let's listen in with GX for this pivotal round.
BBL. And pillar. Backside.
Reveal.
Dead. Tetris.
Last player standing. Spike down B.
And the final blow of regulation, it lands with Cupid, but this game is not over yet. If you
waiting for his attempt on a reswing. 40 seconds left. Committed to this B site. A 4th player rotating in. And Ara taking some serious damage. Alarante's going to miss. They've almost forgotten about him. And he has sprung to life over the last couple of rounds, but another man they've forgotten about is Ara in the backlines. Somehow still standing, and now the only one left. He will fall as well. Alarante.
And it doesn't appear to be enough. At least it wasn't in regulation. Now to fight their way back on the attack side, the one that they struggled to find rounds on. Already blitzing in and losing Ara on the entry. It seems unusual in this map to see him lose an opening duel.
It's a good seize, but they just don't manage to capitalize off it. A few players tagged up, but those tags don't really play a part. I like the re-aggression as well from Pacific. They're not just sitting pretty, they're feeling confident. They're looking for those fights, and they are going to find them. 2 players about to round the corner. One dead immediately, the second as well. Map 3 looking inevitable. With the spike dropped, it's now a retrieval mission. Utility having to be used just to try and claim that back. And Grabinho's space has been watched for. Westside 1v4 split just moments away, unless he can have another hero play, which I'll be honest should never have been needed.
This is unbelievable for GX. Pacific have come back through. For all intents and purposes, they have snuffed out that flame of GX.